This guy just wanted to make a few coins, took on a simple mutant cleanup job in the wastelands, and ended up in the VIP room of an underground club where the merchandise smiles sweetly, then tries to kill you. Sounds crazy already, right? Then he fell asleep and woke up as the sect master in a world where cultivation means blood, demons, and total madness. Now he lives in two worlds, slays monsters, gathers artifacts, and resurrects ancient spirits in a flaming cauldron. And he's doing it all for one reason. Want to know why? Keep watching. The year is 2121. The Badlands. Civilization lies in ruins after a nuclear disaster, barely alive. Survivors cling to life, building fragile settlements in this harsh world. But even beyond the walls of the settlements, humanity is no longer the master of the planet. Giant creatures rule the ball. For ordinary people, going outside is a one-way ticket straight into the clutches of a nightmare. The world has been distorted beyond recognition by nuclear energy, giving rise to new horrors. And here it is, one of the nightmares. A giant mantis mutated to an incredible size. Even small bugs have turned into nuclear beasts, real monsters of the apocalypse. Our hero on a bike dodges the deadly attack, showing the wonders of reaction. He doesn't just run, he counterattacks, jumping off the bike with a weapon blazing with purple energy. A powerful energy blast flies straight at the giant mantis. The battle is on. The energy blade cuts through the chitin, because in this world the strongest survive. The hero, like a lightning bolt, evades the return blow. The bike is waiting for its rider. Back in the saddle, he knows that to survive, he must become more ruthless than the creatures. But even these monsters are only a small part of the horrors of the new world. The hero's path lies through the ruins of a former civilization, where every stone breathes despair. An unexpected meeting, an armored SUV and its mysterious passenger in the forest wilderness. Together, they rush through the thickets, clearly pursuing a common yet unclear goal. The passenger hands the hero a card. It seems to be a new task or an important tip. On the card is a picture of a mansion. Our hunter already knows where to go. A mysterious smirk heralds, today's event promises to be unforgettable. There is confusion among the ruins. The paths of the hero and his recent travel companion have clearly diverged from the map. A short conversation, and here is already a respectable gentleman shares information in somewhat constrained circumstances. The new plan requires a new image. The hero puts on an elegant suit and a mysterious mask. The destination is a luxurious mansion whose doors hide answers or new problems. Boldly stepping over the threshold, he finds himself in the heart of darkness, where every corner holds a mystery. Hospitality in the local way. A cold weapon at the temple welcomes the uninvited visitor. An armed lady walks out, her gaze not boding well for the casual passerby. She approaches, playfully hinting that this is a private party and entry is strictly by invitation. The hero doesn't lose his composure. His hand slides into his pocket. It looks like he has a trump card. There's the invitation! The very same card elegantly parries the threat, causing astonishment among the guards. The lady with the card changes her tone. So we have a very special guest. The hero nonchalantly parries, I'm here for fun, let's not spoil the evening. The two spectacular companions lead him on. Welcome to the Eden of the Wastes. One of the ladies with a map in her hand kindly points the way. Please follow me, honored one. He is promised total immersion in the pleasures of Eden as he follows his escorts. The hero heads toward the next mystery hidden in the darkness in anticipation. Creaky doors swing open and bright light promises new discoveries. Before him is the Eden of the Wastelands, an underground club whose fame rattles the neighborhood. The only people who flock here are the powerful, the local lords and the upper classes, and all of them are attracted by the special entertainment available only in this secret place. The crowd's eyes are fixed on the stage. The anticipation of something great is in the air. The hostess kicks things off. Welcome to the selection. Here a tinkling coin rules, and for it, unforgettable impressions. With a predatory smile and microphone in hand, she announces, So! The hero's hand under his cloak lies discreetly on the hilt. He is always on guard. The curtain rises, presenting the main lots of the evening to the deafening roar of the crowd. How do you like our exclusive offers? Yamal, says the hostess. Their quality is impeccable. They will give unique emotions to the chosen ones. Ladies and gentlemen, don't be shy. Spend your savings at your pleasure. Her voice sounds like a call to action. The hero glumly observes, this is a secret auction, where dark deals are hidden behind a screen of luxury. But the real nightmare of Eden doesn't stop there. A spectacular stranger approaches the lonely hero. Have you not been attracted to our exhibits at all? With a glass in her hand, she looks at him testily. The hero snorts. Consumption. Boring. Is there anything more interesting? The lady is intrigued. It seems our guest is a connoisseur. A special product requires a special status. The hero pulls out a weighty argument. A gold badge, a pass to the big leagues. Her eyes are rounded. Such a trump card she obviously did not expect to see. The tone changes abruptly. I beg your pardon. Important guest, follow me. They leave the noisy hall, leaving the surprised auction crowd behind. The guide leads him to a secluded corner of Eden, where the most interesting things are hidden. In front of them are luxurious chambers, clearly intended for VIPs. Behind a silk sheet, a new exhibit awaits him, a young lady with cat ears. The hostess smilingly introduces, a particularly valuable lot, just for you. How do you like it? The masked hero assesses the situation with a satisfied smirk. Not bad. The hostess whispers temptingly, her hand touching his chin. In that case, enjoy your evening. He looks at the girl with the ears with interest. It seems I have indeed gotten the goods of the highest grade. The one with the ears looks up playfully. Master, from now on I am your exclusive companion, ready for anything. The hero leans in, his voice full of slyness. Ready for anything? And what does that anything entail? She snuggles up to him. Ah, master, you are such a varmint. We're already here, why pretend? In one motion, he lays her on the bed. Of course, it's about... The girl adopts an expressive pose were this kind of pastime. The hero, however, looks disappointed. Just that? Pretty corny. Her eyes round in surprise. Oh? So master doesn't like it when I take the initiative? The girl increases the temptation, suggesting that master take the initiative, or give it to her. She promises to be a silky kitty, her hand already on his chest, playfully offering even punishment if the master so desires. The hero with a sly smile inquires about her peculiar tastes. The kitty coquettishly whispers that she is only interested in the master's discipline. The hero stops her flirtations with a single movement. It seems that the show is over. Out of nowhere in his hand appears the very same educational tool. With an icy grin, he offers her to evaluate his special approach. The first lesson turns out to be a complete surprise and quite tangible for her. In shock, she asks why such a reward, because she tried so hard to please. The hero remarks with a chuckle, her race is known for its amazing survivability. The girl is stunned. He addresses her as Ms. Beastman, revealing her secret. Fury flashes in her eyes. How did you know? What are you, trash man? In one sharp movement, the hero throws her off with his tool. He clarifies, scavengers can't be premium customers and her disguise is flawed. The brute instantly changes tactics, once again attempting to seduce the honored guest. However, her embrace is no longer so gentle. Her hands begin to change monstrously. The hero doesn't give her a chance. A new blow sends her flying, tearing off her disguise. In response, she attacks with sharp spikes, partially assuming her true, formidable appearance. Fully transformed, she demands an answer. Who are you, and why did your whip destroy my disguise? The beastman is puzzled. Where did the young scavenger get such a strange weapon? The hero nonchalantly declares he's a regular trashman with a mission to mop them all up. With a chuckle, he suggests she call her friends. It will be even easier that way. She is furious, but realizes that she can't do it alone. She needs help. Out of the brightly lit aisle, a graceful foot and a boot strides with determination. 4 spectacular ladies armed to the teeth come calling. Reinforcements have arrived. One of them, in leather and carrying a whip, snorts contemptuously. I thought there was a serious opponent here, but this is just a boy. The blonde beauty playfully offers to help her sisters if the kid proves to be too frisky. The leader of the group with the shotgun warns, he's a scavenger, don't relax. She sheds her human form, transforming into a multi-armed monster. Since he's a scavenger, guns are useless. Time to show your true strength. The multi-armed leader boasts, the scavengers that came before were no match for us. The bee-like monstrous smirks, this brat's all alone, we won't even have to share him. 2 more insectoids join in, one rushing over. Finish up quickly, we have a big feast waiting for us outside. The entire foursome rushes at the hero at once, shouting, Snotlout, die! The hero is unfazed in the face of the attack. If you all attack together, it'll be easier for me. An ancient talisman flashes in his hand, exuding a golden glow. Concentrating, the hero channels the talisman's energy into his trusty weapon. His whip is enveloped in a powerful discharge of blue energy, ready to strike. The hero's first attack stuns the pink-haired monstrous with a stream of pure energy. The bee-like creature also gets hit, its face contorted from the unexpected impact. The two insectoids receive a powerful discharge, their faces distorted from the unexpected attack. The monster leader flies off, stunned. "You're using special powers? Not Trash Man, but New Man?" The pink-haired beast is defeated among the rubble, recognizing her carelessness. The hero coolly looks at the result of his work. The first opponent is neutralized. The boy grinningly shows off the talisman. It's not an ability, it's just an artifact. He looks around at the defeated enemies. 1 talisman for 5, a bargain. Suddenly, a new witness appears in the doorway, shocked by what he sees. "Beastman!" the stranger shouts in panic, raising alarm among the unsuspecting guests. The truth is revealed. These 5 were not only luring victims, but also hiding their true predatory natures. Their insidious plan involved secretly eliminating customers who came for pleasure. The true nature of the Beastmen is revealed. Highly evolved, intelligent predators dangerous to mankind. The hero, Liu Xing, introduces himself as a scavenger, arriving on a mission to clean up the lair of these creatures. In addition to the reward for the mission, Liu Xing collects valuable nuclear cores from the defeated monsters. A double benefit. Scavengers are a special caste that solves the problems of the world. Many of them are new humans with awakened abilities. New humans are the result of nuclear stimulation, possessing superhuman strength and unique talents. Liu Xing admits that he is a new man, but the power used was from an artifact and his own ability is something else. With a determined look, the hero rushes on his bike, ready for new challenges. Flashback to the past. Liu Xing is an orphan forced to survive in a cruel world until he is found by her. His savior is the captain of the scavenger squad, Fang Xiaoyu, who saw the potential of a new man in him and accepted him into the Double Leopards team. Since then, his goal has been to become stronger, survive the apocalypse, and become a better scavenger. Liu Xing admits, although he has reached C rank, he is still a long way from the real bosses. But he has his own way. Mysterious artifacts from another world are his trump card, linked to his special power. On his trusty bike, he rushes through the night streets of the ruined city of Jindu. The hero arrives at his hideout. The door is securely locked with a massive chain. Inside his humble abode is an ascetic room where he can catch his breath. Liu Xing lies down, clutching the glowing green crystal in his hand, and closes his eyes. He slowly sinks into sleep, preparing for something unusual. Suddenly his eyes open, one is yellow, the other violet. The power awakens. His true new man ability is revealed, soul travel to another world. And this world is a terrifying realm of immortal perfection, teeming with demons and monsters, more dangerous than the apocalypse itself. But in this strange world, unlike the apocalypse, immortality can be cultivated. A masked little guardian spirit cheerfully greets the awakened sect master. Liu Xing in his otherworldly guise announces, "The mission is complete. The materials have been gathered. It's time to improve the shrine." He remembers that he fell asleep in the wasteland and woke up in a completely different, ominous place. Every trip here seems like an incredible dream to Liu Xing. To explain how it began, we have to go back a few months. The scene before us is gruesome, a mountain of lifeless bodies under a purple sky and vines of thorns. That day, as usual, he fell asleep in his home, unaware of what was coming. When Liu Xing woke up, he found himself at the top of this gruesome mountain, not realizing where he was. This was how he first realized that he had entered a completely different, nightmarish world. Liu Xing first thought that this was just another nightmare. But the acrid stench around him was nauseatingly real, driving away any thoughts of dreaming. Incredibly, his scavenger bracelet had not only traveled with him, but was scanning the ancient remains. However, the next thing that came into view was even more absurd and unbelievable. Hovering buildings, eerie thorns, a world like the ancient books about cultivators, only much darker. A sudden headache interrupted his thoughts, and the memories of the previous owner of this body rushed into his mind. The spiritual energy of this world had long since dried up, giving way to an evil force that could drive anyone insane. Fueled by this evil energy, demons and monsters prey on humans, leaving a bloody trail behind them. The cultivation methods of the few surviving practitioners became even more gruesome in their desperate struggle for strength. The previous owner of this body was a disciple of the Soaring Ascension sect, forced to obtain treasures on a daily basis. Mere mortals who were deprived of strength could only submit to the cultivators. The head of the soaring ascension sect seemed righteous, but he only saw his disciples as a resource for his power. Under the master's spell, the former owner of this body and his fellows would lose their souls for the sake of his ascension. He cynically called this horrible act a blessing for his followers. Those who showed any aptitude were used as material for gruesome alchemical pills. Many disciples have fallen victim, their remains are abandoned, and speeches about justice are just a cover for vile deeds. Lu Xing realizes in horror, is this really the cultivation of this world, and he has become possessed by someone else's soul? A new wave of headache. Is this another batch of memories of the former body master? The image of an elder telling young Xing'er about the former greatness of cultivators who could command the elements comes to mind. Once upon a time, Tao masters were countless, and Mahayana practices and experiencing sorrow were found at every turn. The elder broadcast, today's masters were but a pale shadow of the disciples of the past, pitiful imitators. In the golden age of cultivation, even demons strove for righteousness, and great sects flourished under wise rule. Lu Xing is puzzled. Is this boy really young Xing'er and the old man his ancestor from his memories? Alas, the idol has collapsed. Spiritual energy has dried up, evil has flowed, and heavenly punishment has fallen upon the world. To save the spark of life, the ancient sect master resorted to a forbidden, desperate technique. A powerful spell sheltered the heart of the sect deep underground, waiting for the chosen savior. But with the depletion of spiritual power and the rise of evil energy, the ancient knowledge and cultivation techniques faded into oblivion. The true masters were replaced by impostors who drew power from the darkness and led the world down the path of destruction. Modern cultivation was a gruesome devouring of the souls and essences of mortals, a perverted path to power. The last descendant of the Heaven and Earth sect puts his hope in young Xing'er to revive the true path and stop the demonic cultivators. Lu Xing realizes this world of cultivation is no less cruel than the post-apocalypse, but he has a chance because the former owner of the body did not have time to find the legacy of the sect. A memory comes to mind. An elder instructs young Xing'er on how to use a map and a jade bracelet to find the secret entrance to the underground ruins of their sect. Following the elder's description, Liu Xing'er makes his way through the bone fields. The ruins of the ancient sect are somewhere nearby. After looking around, he realizes the mountain of lifeless bodies where he woke up is the place from the legends. Suddenly, the scavenger's bracelet detects a powerful energy surge deep underground. Is there really nuclear energy here too? Lu Xing examines the gruesome mountain of remains, trying to pinpoint the exact location of the source of the signal. He discovers a well, and immediately the jade bracelet starts vibrating, and the scanner confirms that the energy is coming from the bottom. The hero descends deep into the well, and with each step, the resonance of the bracelet and the scanner signals becomes stronger and stronger. Thousands of steps down, the path is blocked by the remains, once human, distorted by evil energy. Finally, after a long and gruesome descent, Liu Xing feels a solid surface under his feet. He has reached the bottom. At the bottom of the well, Liu Xing smells a powerful signal. Is the source of energy right behind this dark pit? Suddenly, bony paws stretch out of the darkness, ready to grab the intruder. Lu Xing's eyes sparkle. He senses something wrong, clearly not a friendly encounter. A giant skeleton wearing a royal crown rises out of the darkness, blocking the way. Lu Xing doesn't flinch. His gaze is defiant. Is this the guardian of the legacy? Without a moment's hesitation, the hero punches the bone giant right in the chest. A flash of memory. The elder taught the ritual. Liu Xing taps and whispers ancient words, and the skeleton is enveloped in writing. The monster's eye socket flashes with dazzling light. The ancient magic is awakened. The giant guardian falls apart, releasing streams of blue energy and small skeletons. In front of Liu Xing, 6 skulls now float before him, engulfed in mystical blue flames. The trial continues. The 6 shining skulls swirled in a mystical dance around the hero. Lu Xing realized the defeated giant was only a guardian and the real entrance is this portal. He grins. His jade bracelet was the key to the mystery. The announcement on the screen. A colossal golden statue awaits Liu Xing ahead. Without hesitation, the hero boldly steps into the gaping space passage. As soon as he stepped inside, the skulls burst out with ominous purple fire. From their energy and ashes, a new entity is assembled, a bone warrior in golden armor. The ancient golden fragments come to life, folding into a gigantic figure. And there in front of him is a ginormous multi-armed statue, the next guardian of the legacy. Lu Xing, shrouded in his determination and strength, moves towards the challenge. Before Lu Xing stretches a gigantic underground hall, illuminated by a mysterious portal. He is stunned. The books lied. The reality is much cooler than the ancient legends. Suddenly, his jade bracelet flashes scarlet. It looks like the adventure is not over. A stream of red energy bursts out from the bracelet, pointing the way to the heart of the ancient hall. The energy thickens, and the spirit of a little girl appears before him, an unexpected guide. The little spirit extends her hand, and Lu Xing is enveloped by a stream of golden power. "Sect Master!" the spirit babbles, "finally!" Lu Xing, on the other hand, thinks, "This bracelet has a surprise." "Sect Master? Me?" Liu Xing clearly didn't expect such a promotion. The spirit realizes the newcomer needs a tour. It turns out that this is the Immortal Alchemy Valley, and the cute spirit is its ancient guardian. A piece of her consciousness has been slumbering in the bracelet, but now the spirit is free and ready to ignite. The spirit broadcasts, the Golden Age Sect Master found a balance, allowing demons and righteous people to cultivate side by side. But towards the end of the Golden Age, the demonic energy rushed in, distorting everything in its path and wreaking havoc. At the critical moment, the Sect Master intervened, changing the course of the battle with just 2 moves. The first technique was the Spirit Purification Mantra, summoning an indestructible golden power. The second attack was the Holy Word Rupture, crushing evil with divine power. Mighty golden palms descended from the heavens, sweeping away the enemies with righteous wrath. This technique, Light of the Righteous Path, incinerated the demon hordes in one fell swoop. And then the demon call, which turned the darkness against itself, cleansing the world of evil. The Sect Master even commanded demon emperors, driving evil back to the underworld. Thus, with just 2 moves, he had almost completely destroyed the first wave of attacking dark forces. The spirit broadcast. Even the Sect Master could not hold back the endless waves of distorted cultivators and creatures. In desperation, the Sect Master decides to resort to the extreme measure of sealing the Immortal Alchemy Valley. He sacrifices his soul and essence, activating an ancient formation to save the legacy. The main hall of the sect sinks underground, taking the souls of the disciples with them into a deep sleep. The last hope for rebirth. Lu Xinger's ancestor, while on a mission, receives an artifact from the Sect Master, the very same jade bracelet. The bracelet is the key to the future, to wait for immortal destiny, to open the valley, and to restore the sect to its former glory. The girl's spirit looks at Lu Xing. By awakening Little Immortal, you naturally became the Sect Master. Lu Xing frowns. To revive the sect, one needs spiritual energy, but there is almost no spiritual energy left in this world. But then it dawned on him. The scavenger bracelet had picked up nuclear energy. What if it was the same thing? An image from his world comes to mind. A girl with a shining crystal, the key to the energy for the sect's new era. Lu Xing ponders. The nuclear crystals from his world are what is needed to revitalize the sect. But how to deliver them? Little Immortal notices the new Sect Master's brooding. Something is troubling him. The hero decides to rest, citing fatigue, and the spirit leads him to his chambers. The ancient corridors of the Valley of Immortal Alchemy are immersed in a mysterious twilight. Before going to sleep, Liu Xing gives the spirit an important task to guard his rest at all costs. In the safety of the ancient sect, Lu Xing finally relaxes and is immediately swept away by sleep. A sudden awakening. Liu Xing's eyes are wide open. Something has changed. Unbelievable. He is back in his world on the couch and the jade bracelet is still on his hand. Lu Xing analyzes the situation. It seems that the dream is a portal between worlds and items can be transferred. A plan has been hatched. Since the bracelets have moved, it means that the nuclear crystals can also be transported to the cultivation world. Lu Xing checks his hunch. The crystal from his world is just bursting with spiritual energy. The hero rejoices. The objects he touches in his dreams are traveling with him to the cultivation world. The spirit announces, this energy is enough to activate the sect's artifact, the Cauldron of Rebirth. The ancient hall is illuminated with light. The Cauldron of Rebirth awakens at the center of the magic formation. The Little Immortal explains, although the cauldron has been sealed for 1,000 years, the crystal energy will revitalize it. Spiritual threads stretch out from the cauldron. The souls of the disciples sealed by the sect master are waiting to be reborn. Liu Xing generously poured crystals into the cauldron. The spirit confirms that the energy is enough for one body. The cauldron bursts into flames, and Liu Xing is already thinking of gotcha and tenfold summoning. The little immortal, not understanding about the tenfold summoning, tries to tell the master something important. A fiery phoenix bursts out of the cauldron. The spirit screams that the disciple's body is almost formed. The little immortal shouts, "Young sect master, watch out, it's flying straight towards you." Liu Xing is astonished. What speed! The fiery figure is already in front of him. Without hesitating, the sect master stretches out his hand to stop the flaming creature. In one precise movement, Liu Xing intercepts the winged entity embraced by the flames. His hand stops the fiery figure whose gaze blazes with primal power. The flames die down, revealing bandages covered in scarlet writing beneath. A maiden emerges from the flames asking, "Who are you? Why do you not fear my true flame of samadhi?" Her gaze falls on Liu Xing's bracelet, and she is shocked. "A silver jade bracelet? Is it really you?" The little immortal immediately demands deference to the sect master, and Liu Xing salutes, "Welcome back to this world." The newcomer recoils in bewilderment. No way! The sect master has exhausted his cultivation after all, and his soul has dissipated. The maiden ponders. Since this youngster possesses the bracelet and cauldron, is he really the reincarnation of the master? We have to check it out. The resurrected warrior, spreading her wings, sternly inquires, "For what purpose did you awaken me, Venerable?" Liu Xing and Little Immortal announce, "Of course, so that you can help us revive the sect and restore it to its former glory." The warrioress only chuckles. "If it's for the sake of such boredom, then I'm out of it." The little immortal lashes out at the defiant maiden in fury. "How dare you speak to the sect master like that?" The warrior girl throws the spirit away with a cry of, "Get lost," declaring that she will not submit to anyone else in this life. "My fate is in my hands. It is not for the heavens to decide," she proclaims, shrouded in a powerful aura. But Liu Xing is unperturbed. Glowing chains come off his bracelet. The energy fetters instantly shackle the rebellious woman, enveloping her in lightning discharges. Bound and defeated, she is shocked, and Liu Xing calmly explains, "I just made the right bet." The spirit marvels at the master's technique. Liu Xing recalls, upon entering the hall of reincarnation, his bracelet glowed, revealing countless souls chained to it. The little immortal, not waiting to understand the tenfold summoning, decides to reveal the secret of these souls to Liu Xing. The spirit warns, sealing souls is a dark art, and many of them are former demons and monsters, lords of their lands. These formidable entities would only tremble before the sect master, which meant that the bracelet was the key to subduing them. Liu Xing recalled, the chain from one of the souls had transferred to the new body, confirming his guess of control. He yanks on the bracelet, activating the yin-yang soul-binding curse. The little immortal excitedly demands the rebellious maiden's name. The captive maiden introduces herself, the Fire Crow, an artifact spirit who gained human form after 100 years of refinement. Liu Xing snorts, "So you're just an artifact spirit who became a monster? Why so much hubris?" The warrior girl babbles in panic, No, I was a high-class immortal artifact spirit for pills and talismans." In desperation, Firecrow offers the sect master her treasures, the Whip of Truth Search, the Thunder Talismans, and the Demon Suppression Sword. Liu Xing and the spirit cries out, "Is this all your sincerity? You can't chase a beggar away." The master is already ready to say goodbye. Firecrow cries out in panic, "Sect master, calm down, give me spiritual energy and I'll create more treasures." Liu Xing agrees with feigned reluctance. "All right, you have one chance." Crow promises to make him the best at recycling treasures. Time returns to the present. Before us is a grand building flooded with moonlight. The sect master swings open the doors of the treasury, carrying a bag of crystals with Little Immortal hovering nearby. Liu Xing shows Firecrow the sack of glowing nuclear crystals. Is this spiritual energy enough? Crow is shocked by the power of the crystals. The sect master found such treasures in this wilderness. They are not like ordinary spiritual stones. Surrounded by crystals and flames, Firecrow exulted, "I can finally create artifacts again." "Then let's get started immediately," she declares, and the crystals begin to swirl around her in a whirlwind of fire. Fire Crow absorbs the energy of the crystals, her body enveloped in roaring flames. The remelting process has begun. Fire Crow cries out in strength, her eyes blazing with determination and her body enveloped in fierce flames. She explains, the crystals are pure raw materials, so the artifacts will be randomized, and now the first one is ready. Embarrassed, holding out the glowing talisman, Crow announces, "This is the Soaring Sky Talisman." Lu Shang hums, "Gives bird abilities, huh?" and immediately inquires about getting something cooler. The crow, wriggling in rainbow flames, coquettishly replies, "By putting in more spiritual energy, of course, master." "Super enhanced flame forging," she proclaims, and the fiery vortex around her ignites with renewed vigor. Concentrating the energy, Crow creates a glowing object. This time it turned out to be a seed. Lu Xing and Little Immortal stare at the find in bewilderment, while the spirit recalls, "It looks like the fruit of the reincarnation vine." Suddenly, Fire Crow falls to her knees. It seems the process of creating artifacts has worn her out quite a bit. Breathing heavily, she admits, "I'm hungry, cultivation hasn't been restored, and forging requires a lot of energy." Fire Crow weakened, shrinking from fatigue. Forging artifacts is not an easy thing to do. Liu Xing picks her up in his arms. "Looks like you're exhausted, I'll take you to rest." The Little Immortal calms down. "Sect Master, don't worry, she'll recover, but the issue of food is still open." The exhausted Fire Crow lies down without strength, recovering her energy after her hard work. Lu Xing recalls, he had already thought of provisions, but living organisms cannot be carried across the barrier of worlds. The Little Immortal sighs about crystals, but Lu Xing decides, more disciples, more chances to solve the food problem. The spirit readily replies, "I don't quite understand, but since the sect master has decided, Little Immortal will fulfill." Suddenly, the rebirth cauldron vibrates violently. Lu Xing is surprised. "What's going on? Why such power?" Two dragon spirits, white and purple, burst out of the cauldron, immediately clashing together in a fierce battle. Yin-yang soul-binding curse. The sect master seemed to know how to subdue these violent newcomers. The sect master's energy chains immediately entangle the fierce dragons, subduing them with lightning discharges. Lu Xing commanded imperiously, "Stop both of you!" His bracelet shines, controlling the situation. The dragon spirits take on female forms, but the feud doesn't subside. One immediately claws into the hair of the other. Suddenly, a barrage of fire erupts from the next room. Someone is clearly not happy with the noise. Fire Crow, awakened by the altercation, exclaims unhappily, "It's so noisy, you're keeping me awake." Seeing the familiar faces, Crow smirks. "Oh, it's you? Now that's interesting." Lu Xing and Little Immortal are puzzled. "Who are those two ladies?" they ask with glee. Fire Crow explains with a wry smile. "Oh, they are the famous dragon sisters of the dragon clan." Crow continues, "The elder Tsang Mosha and the younger Tsang Liuli are eternal rivals like fire and water. I never thought they would be resurrected together." The bound dragon sisters, Tsang Liuli and Tsang Mosha, only snort in response, not hiding their mutual dislike. The Little Immortal calls the dragonesses to order, "Stop making noise. Since you've been resurrected, thank the sect master." The dragoness sisters turn around in astonishment. "Sect master?" they asked, clearly not expecting such a turn. Chang Liuli, the younger sister, curiously touches Liu Xing's chest, her hand shining. Liuli admiringly states, "Young sect master is indeed extraordinary. I can sense a powerful spiritual energy in him." She continues, noting his potential, "But I also feel that the sect master hasn't studied Taoist techniques yet, and I'm the best at them." Tsang Liuli winks coquettishly. "I, Liuli, am very skillful at pair perfecting, master." Tsang Mosha, the elder sister, furiously pushes Liuli away. "Get away! The sect master doesn't need your training." Mosha brags about her talents. "Before joining the sect, I was a master assassin. I can handle all the secret techniques, so he will teach me." Embarrassed, Tsang Mosha adds, And actually, I'm good at pair refinement too." Fire Crow offers a solution with a sly grin. "Just pair refinement? You can do it together. Or fight. Whoever wins will be the winner." The dragon sisters immediately clutch each other again, and the spirit from above only spreads its hands in despair. Lu Xing tiredly intervenes. "Enough already," Crow philosophically remarks about karma. The sect master presents the seed. "Whoever learns how to cultivate it will be my mentor." Sangmosha is shocked. This is the seed of the reincarnation vine, a rare treasure. Elder sister explains, the seed needs soil imbued with the dark energy of countless fallen ones to grow. Sang Liuli coquettishly adds, and that's not all. The vine needs both spiritual and dark energy at the same time. The younger sister proudly concludes, that's why this tree is so rare. Liuli tempts, the fruit of the vine not only increases cultivation, but also grants divine abilities. Luxing decides, I can find spiritual energy, but I'll have to go to the Chang lands for dark soil. The sect master remembers that the Chang lands are teeming with evil spirits that he has yet to encounter. Luxing sends his wards to rest while he prepares for a new mission. The sect master decides to return to his world. The artifacts for his disciples will not make themselves. Sinking into sleep, Luxing recovers his strength before the dangerous journey. Suddenly, a mysterious figure in high heels slips into his chambers. A dark silhouette with burning eyes looms over the sleeping master. Who is it? Meanwhile, on another world, a young boy with heterochromia receives an urgent message from the captain. A hologram of an imperious lady demands his immediate appearance. It looks like a big deal. The announcement of the next chapter is intriguing. The mysterious stranger is clearly not being nice to the boy. The action moves to an imposing building, the Gatherers Guild headquarters. The boy hurries to the captain's call, wondering what urgency has made her so insistent in her search for him. The scanner identifies Liu Xing. The door opens into a realm of chaos and snacks. The guy is shocked. The captain's apartment looks more like a caterer's warehouse. Captain! Liu Xing bursts in, expecting the worst among the mountains of garbage. And Captain Fan Xiaoyu is nonchalantly chillin' on the couch, surrounded by the playful mess. Fan Xiaoyu lazily inquires, Starry, what are you here for? Liu Xing reminds, Captain, you're the one who called. You promised something interesting. Interesting? Fan Xiaoyu thoughtfully flips through her pink strands, clearly oblivious. She stretches sweetly, trying to remember. What could it be? A sudden epiphany. Right! I remember! Exclaims the captain. Fan Xiaoyu proudly declares, the captain recently received a large order. Fan Xiaoyu coquettishly states that she's usually busy, so this is a rare chance for Starry to practice. The captain gives Liu Xing a friendly hug, promising a generous 70-30 share of the Gatherer's mission reward. Xiaoyu cheers up, You're my S-class fighter, you can do it! And immediately adds that he's her only subordinate. Liu Xing resolutely clenches his fist. That's why I want to improve my equipment. The captain enthusiastically shows a thumbs up. Great idea, go for it! The boy slyly inquires, Captain, can't you throw in a little for expenses then? Fan Xiaoyu thoughtfully utters, Expenses, you say? Clearly figuring something out. Suddenly, her chibi version declares with a wry smirk, Of course not. The captain explains that her awakened ability is superhuman power, and she doesn't need the equipment, or she would have borrowed it. Liu Xing pleaded, Captain, I heard the Gathering Kings have huge allowances and you still don't buy equipment. Captain Xiaoyu grinningly parries, Hey, Starry, you're still too naive. Fan Xiaoyu explains, she doesn't need real gear, but virtual armor and games require a colossal investment. She dreamily continues, and next month a new console is coming out for $3,500, and that's not including games. Liu Xing is shocked to realize his captain is an avid gamer spending a fortune on games. Liu Xing sighs, realizing that he can't count on his captain, so he'll have to look for other ways. Liu Xing, looking at the futuristic city, decides, Even though I don't have the money to upgrade, I won't give up the captain's mission. He rushes on his bike, pondering, It's not about the reward, it's about the fact that the captain saved my life. Flashback, little Liu Xing, orphaned and hungry, survived by scavenging on the streets. Flashback continues, he was captured by looters during a brutal bandit showdown over territory. The victorious bandit, impressed by the boy's resilience, decides to make him his young fighter. Liu Xing's memories. The gang war is interrupted by the attack of the giant core beast. The boy miraculously survives the monster's attack, left buried in the sand among the debris. But the ordeal doesn't end. He is immediately attacked by another marauder, testing his mettle. As Liu Xing dodges the deadly spear, his youth is spent fighting for his life. One day he falls to the beast tide, an unruly horde of core beasts that bring death to all living things. A huge monster catches up with the boy, and Liu Xing is already preparing for the worst as he stares into the monster's maw. Suddenly, a flash of light, and a mysterious warrior with pink hair saves him from imminent death. The savior, Fan Xiaoyu, grumbles unhappily that she missed the ranked fights in the game because of Beast Tide. Xiaoyu orders Lu Sang to wait while she quickly deals with the remaining critters. Captain Fan Xiaoyu concentrates her strength, her eyes flashing. The real show is about to begin. Captain Fan Xiaoyu unleashes a devastating straight punch at the enemies, displaying incredible power. In one move, she sweeps away the horde of core beasts, rushing back to the interrupted game and saving Lu Xing in the process. Having defeated the monsters, Xiaoyu declares to the surviving boy, "You're tough, come with me." This is how Lu Xing found a mentor. Years later, Liu Xing rushes to the Core Beast Research Institute, the site of his new mission. He is already greeted by a delegation at the gate. "Gatherer, brother, you're finally here," exclaims the scientist joyfully. Dr. Xu, the head of the institute, warmly greets Liu Xing, introducing himself and inviting him in. Inside, Liu Xing is escorted to a futuristic room where he is expected to talk. A charming catgirl maid offers tea, but Liu Xing immediately asks to get to the details of the assignment. Dr. Xu begins the story, assuring him that their Core Beast Research Institute is a charitable organization. He proudly states that in 5 years, they have sheltered and rescued hundreds of beastmen, creating a warm home for them. Dr. Xu laments that people think the beastmen are dangerous, but they are just looking for shelter. The institute not only rescues them, but also seeks a way to completely transform the beastmen into humans by removing their animal genes. But with the growth of the institute has also come great misfortune. Sinister eyes are watching the complex. Dr. Xu explains, it seems the core beast is targeting the institute, which is why the collector was called in. A sudden rumble shakes the room. Lu Xing, the scientist, and the maid are all on edge. "It's definitely him coming again," Dr. Xu exclaims in horror, sensing something wrong. Lu Hai rushes forward. "I'll check it out. You stay here and keep your heads down." Outside, guards are shooting into the sky, shouting to Lu Xing, "He can't take bullets." Lu Xing raises his head in shock. "What?" Unable to believe his ears. A giant snake-like core beast looms over the institute, and Lu Xing realizes the captain set him up. Lu Xing realizes the snake's scales are too thick. Normal shooting will only make it angry. The demon serpent roars, surrounded by an ominous aura, and Liu Xing decides to divert it to himself. The guy rushes towards the guard. "Brother, borrow some grenades." The dumbfounded guard is perplexed. Is this gatherer so poor, or is he not even real? Lu Xing, wasting no time, hurls the grenade, shouting, "Hey big guy, look over here!" The grenade explodes right in front of the giant snake's face, attracting its attention. Our hero is already on the bike, leading the monster away from the institute. "I'm here. Follow me." The enraged core beast lets out a deafening roar, clearly not going to let the insolent man go. The giant reptile chases after Lu Xing, its body wriggling, catching up with him in pursuit. Lu Xing rushes through the canyon, firing off grenades. "These things are really useful." Lu Xing, laden with grenades, dreams, "I've never fought so well. I'll have to ask for more after the mission." Our hero on the bike declares, "I took him to the Chaos Canyon. We'll settle this here." Lu Xing throws a whole bunch of grenades. "Hey snake, accept my explosive gift." The giant serpent with its mouth open meets the hail of deadly surprises flying at it. Powerful explosions envelop the monster, shaking the canyon to its core. Lu Xing jumps off the bike, his hand flashing with lightning. "Time for some real thunder!" The guy unleashes a crushing lightning slash on the enemy, cleaving the air. The electric discharge hits exactly on target, illuminating the giant serpent carcass. Lu Xing notes in satisfaction, "Not bad, this method really works." But the wound on the core beast's body instantly heals, showing incredible regeneration. The wound on the snake heals before his eyes, leaving no trace of the impact. Lu Xing despaired. "What? His regeneration is just beyond the limit." The snake demon, having fully recovered, once again looms over the hero, ready to attack. An acrid green slurry drips from the monster's mouth, heralding a new threat. Lu Heng was horrified. "He's spitting poison too? He's not playing by the rules at all." The poisonous slurry spreads across the canyon, turning the ground into a bubbling acid puddle. The hero barely manages to dodge, but his trusty bike melts in the acid. Lu Xing looks bitterly at the remains of the bike. "So that was concentrated acid. Goodbye, my 82 transportation." Suddenly, Lu Xing soars into the air, surrounded by a glow, and looks down at the serpent. Dark wings grow behind the hero's back, and his body is enveloped by lightning. Luckily, I have a trump card, the Shadow Fist Talisman. Liu Xing vows to avenge the bike, unleashing the power of the Shadow Fist Talisman. Soaring into the sky, Liu Xing is already calculating the future trophies. A lot of crystals will definitely fall from this creep. With a lightning-fast stroke, he dives at the giant serpent, preparing a series of strikes. Blades of energy deeply pierce the monster's scales, causing it to shudder. The serpent demon roars in agony, its eyes glittering with primal rage. Liu Xing notes the toughness of the enemy, but is certain. Even this kind of regeneration won't save it, it's over. But a sudden glance at the defeated enemy causes Liu Xing to freeze in bewilderment. He notices something unbelievable. A tear rolls down from the giant eye of the core beast. Liu Xing is struck by an incredible hunch as his hand emits a probing light. Could it be? And there it is. The serpent transforms and an intelligent snake girl appears before Liu Xing. Liu Xing is focused, his glowing eye foreshadowing the final decision. With sword at his side, surrounded by lightning, the hero announces, "Mission!" With a powerful blow, the mission is officially over.
The announcement of the next chapter is intriguing. Liu Xing is surrounded by charming beastmen maids.
Only a huge tail remains of the core beast, tinged with residual dark energy. Liu Xing states that only a fragment of the giant remains, and that it has turned the rest into dust. Dr. Xu generously rewards the collector, admitting that the reward was worth the risk of death. Our hero remains vigilant, asking Dr. Xu about the reasons for this strange attack. Professor Xu blithely dismisses it as an accidental invasion by an unintelligent monster. The doctor offers Liu Xing a very specific vacation in the company of 2 attractive beastmen. Liu Xing crosses his arms and asks the doctor suspiciously, "Does your institute also provide such services?" The hero continues the pressure, clarifying, "Or are you deliberately trying to set me up, Professor?" Dr. Xu panics and excuses himself, assuring that this is a purely voluntary initiative of the beastmen. Liu Xing states with a sly grin, "Since that's the case, I have a bold idea. Aren't there any more people willing to give thanks?" The professor, though puzzled, is happy to oblige. "Of course, brother, we'll organize it right away." Our hero is already sitting in the room and 6 beastmen maids are lined up in front of him. "Is everyone here?" The charming beastmen girls reply in chorus, "Yes, sir, we are all here." One of the maids with graceful wings steps forward. "We are very happy to serve you." Liu Xing, having activated the shining rune on his arm, remarks skeptically, "Something I don't sense your joy." Lightning flashes around the hero and he quips with a chuckle, "Stop pretending, ladies." Liu Xing decides to test the sincerity of the maids with a lightning strike. The effect is stunning. And behind the scenes of this drama looms the dark figure of Professor Xu with a sinister glint in his eyes. Professor Xu calmly walks past the rows of flasks where his beastmen, subjects, are languishing. At a giant capsule containing 2 of the creatures, Professor Xu laments, "Daughter, Daddy waited so long, and this core beast has ruined everything." One of the captives is the same snake girl. Xu vows, "Now that he's eliminated, I'll revive you." Suddenly, Liu Xing appears behind the scientist's back. "Is that why the core beast attacked, Professor?" Xu is dumbfounded. "Brother Ah Xing, how did you get into our beastman help room? This is a restricted area." Liu Xing doesn't waste time talking. His fist lucidly explains to the professor that it's not good to lie. Panting after the punch, Xu grins evilly. "I wanted to offer you a job, but since you're so curious, the show is on." The professor shows his phone triumphantly. "While you were being a hero here, I've already called for help with an SOS signal." Professor Xu gloats, "Kid, you can't stand up to my genetically modified beastman." Liu Xing smirks as he shows off the collars that have been removed. "That was awkward. You've lost control." Xu is horrified, spitting out blood. "What? These collars explode when removed. How did you do that?" Hero, surrounded by the freed girls. "Don't worry, they're with me now and have told me of your misdeeds." Flashback. The unfortunate beastmen were lured to the institute and put electronic shackles on them. Recollections of the girls. The collars were painful, forcing them to submit to every whim without complaint. Moreover, the captives were used to test illegal drugs and conduct gruesome experiments. Liu Xing looks at the professor with disdain. "You called this place a shelter while you were the main torturer yourself." Xu panics and tries to justify himself. "No, it's not like that. I did it because of the events of that day." In the past, Shu sincerely wanted to help the Beastmen, unable to bear their suffering at the hands of humans. Flashback. Young Shu administers justice with a brick, quickly and efficiently. The result is clear. The offender is defeated, and the lesson is learned forever. Saving the snake girl, Shu escapes from his pursuer, screaming with impotent rage. Years later, Shu is a loving family man and a scientist dedicated to helping the Beastmen. A breakthrough in the lab. Shu has almost solved the mystery of the genes, promising the Beastmen new life. But a nightmarish phone call cuts short all hope. The experiment is a disaster. Terror at the scene of the tragedy. His family became a victim of a rabid test subject. With his injured daughter in his arms, Shu vows to find a way to save her, no matter the cost. Now his world is his daughter in a cryo chamber, and a desperate race for the means to keep her alive. To save his daughter, Shu makes a deal with darkness, supplying beastmen for alien experiments. Surrounded by flasks, Shu cynically admits that the beastmen are just material for his dubious serums. Black market and underground deals? That's how the professor financed his mad research. He sees his daughter's salvation in genetic engineering, creating a new body from a suitable beastman. Shu's desperation grows. Finding a genetically compatible donor is like finding a needle in a haystack. Unexpected luck. The same snake girl caught by the smugglers turns out to be a perfect match. Almost 100% genetic compatibility. Shu is ecstatic. His daughter will live. A sudden attack by the core beast puts an end to the immediate start of the fusion process. The professor realizes, for the risky procedure to succeed, he had to get rid of the monster first. Shu, though beaten, smirks gloatingly. Lu Xing has cleared his path to his goal. One last order to the system. Begin fusion, and the professor anticipates the triumph. Professor Shu gloats. The fusion process has begun, and there is no stopping it. Lu Xing shouts to the Beastman girls, "Hurry up and save the others before all the energy goes to that machine." The hero realizes that turning off the power won't help. The main fusion reactor will take its toll anyway. Suddenly, Lu Xing notices something unforeseen, his face contorted with surprise. In the fusion chamber, the snake girl's arm begins to be covered in gruesome lacerations. The process has gone awry. The bodies of the professor's daughter and the snake girl begin to reject each other. Shu, not noticing the catch, smugly declares that the fusion is going perfectly. Lu Xing, looking at what is happening, feels something has clearly gone wrong. The face of the merging creature is distorted with pain, eyes glowing wildly. It's agony. The professor screams in horror. Genetic rejection. Is it really because of a paltry 0.01% difference? The fusion turns into a nightmare. The bodies are rejected, shrouded in ominous smoke. The professor panics. It's all gone. If we interrupt the fusion, the daughter will become a monster. Suddenly, a powerful energy discharge erupts from the capsule, shattering the shackles. A giant hand pierces through the glass. Something huge and terrifying bursts free. A ginormous figure rises from the rubble, and Lu Xing and his companion are dumbfounded. She's still alive? Lu Xing confirms with a smirk. That's right, I didn't disconnect the main cable. It turns out that our hero didn't destroy the core beast, but only severed its tail to distract it. The giant snake is perplexed. Why did you spare me? Aren't you afraid of revenge? Lu Xing didn't jump to conclusions. He had already learned the background of this story. Flashback. After the nuclear war, the forest mutated, giving birth to giant Titanoboa. Among the snakes, green and white, 2 Naga sisters were the first to take human form. The curious green snake got into trouble near a human settlement, but young Shu rescued her. Years later, the rescued one sees a poster. Her rescuer has become a famous scientist, the hope of the Beastmen. Green decides to thank the professor, and White, worried, follows her to the institute. The Snake sisters sneak into the lab, hoping to give Shu a pleasant surprise. But instead of a surprise, it's an electric trap. The green snake gets caught first. The poor thing is immediately surrounded by armed men. No escape is possible. She's been captured. The white snake rushes to the rescue in a rage, accidentally knocking over crates of dangerous chemicals. The cocktail of spilled serums causes White Snake to undergo a ghastly mutation and uncontrollable rage. Upon waking up, White finds herself a giant monster in the middle of a forest of thorns after a bloody massacre. White Snake knew invading the lab was dangerous, but believed her savior would help her sister. What was her despair when it turned out? It was Shu who was the source of Green's suffering. Lu Xing sarcastically reminds the professor, "Ironic, isn't it? The one you tortured is now saving your daughter." A new being, the result of the fusion, rises before them, and Lu Xing realizes Only she is capable of this.